Fire!
Welcome back to the land of dump mowers and growers, not showers. It may not be 12 inches, but it sure smells like a foot. Did somebody spray paint you? How did you get spray painted? Who spray painted the Wheeler dog? All right, well, usually this day of the year, I don't know what day it is, but it's long enough now on the lawn department that my fat crippled ass likes to get on the old dump mower here. Oh, and by the way, it leaks oil like a 12 valve Cummins. It's quite craptacular. I don't know where the oil's coming from, but I just keep pouring it at the top and it keeps falling out the bottom. But I got this minty old pile running for the year. I found it at the dump years ago, and every year I just spray Cosby sauce into it, fires right up. I crack about 85 lattes and drive around in circles. Well, I had, you know, Joe Rogan in my ear, crushing dirty old Miller lattes, and my crippled ass is riding around in circles, absolutely ruining what's left of the old dirty dump mower. And, well, lo and behold, I stopped for a beer break while I was drinking beer. I mean, you gotta have a beer break while you're mowing, because you'll get dehydrated, long story short.
Yeah, that's how it works.
I'd stop for a break, a little bit of a beer break, no big deal. Rolling through the old Facebook Marketplace, and lo and behold. Oh, and by the way,
Squirrel.
a lot of you observant minty pricks were having a gander at the old killer here. The old killer's back up and running. Then the old big bore kit so it doesn't burn. If I put, what was it, 60 miles on this bike, it would damn near eat a quart of engine oil. Can you believe that? So I had to put a new piston in it, big bore kit, dialed her all together. I did the doohickey.
What the f is that?
I took her for a rip. All right, first start in the big bore kit. Is it gonna blow up? All right, had it all tore down. First ride, is it gonna blow up? No. It won't blow up. When you're breaking in a new motor, you gotta have a payload on, right?
Gotta have payload.
Oh, you gotta go for a case. Well, this is good, so you know it breaks the seats the rings in, and it gets you drunk at the same time.
I thought after the last police officer, do we got any paperwork on these things? Probably, eh? Maybe.
It died on me, but anyway, got a case of beer and brought it home, so I mean that's good enough. So I was on Facebook Marketplace, somebody spray painted Wheeler dog, and I was scrolling through, and lo and behold, one of the neighbors to the north, TB Creek, this old outfit's called, where we used to mud bog all the time. All of a sudden I want to hear Redline and B8.
Squirrel!
You don't need to worry about being drunk and ADD on leg. But I was on old Facebook Marketplace having a gander around, and there's an old Ferd on there. Now when I say old Ferd, I mean old Ferd. I own a lot of old Ferds ranging between 1978. Willard, stop eating spicy flies. About from 1978-ish, 76, in there, something like that. All the way to like a 2004 or 2003. So I got the, and don't worry, that Chevy's not mine. It's somebody else's. I wouldn't own one of those. I'm not part of the old alphabet gang. So I do own some old Ferds, but I don't own one this old. This is a sweetheart. I think what this guy's doing, he's clearing out his land. I called him on the old telephone. He says, oh yeah, you old cripple, come on by and buy the old Ferd. So I'm like, oh yeah, you know, I'll hop in the old Crummins here, fired up, hook onto my trailers, and head on out to old TB Creek and pick the old thing up. But then the ADD and the alcohol and everything else kicks in, and well, next thing you know, you remember that you were swirling a couple of lattes, and next thing you know, you completely wrote your trailer off, and you need to do some welding on it before you go. Isn't that right, Wheeler dog? But a quick rip the old P-Auto. I got some trailer lights and all kinds of stuff here. A breakaway again. Trailer light buckets. We got to get some taillights for it, and we'll hit the ground hobbling. Willard, how hard am I on gear? Almost as hard as you are stunned. Willard, what are you doing? Did we sell a bunch of stickers with your face on it? Don't give me that look. Don't give me that look. That's the stun look. All right, if Willard could talk, he could have some stories. How many stun things do I do? Am I stunned? Are you too stunned to know how stunned I am? Are you stunned? Just in case all you minty pricks were wondering what was going on with the old OJ Bronco. Well, the old two-legged clone of myself here went and got himself a bunch of dirty old dump lawn mowers and sold them on Facebook Marketplace. And then he went ahead and got himself a brand used OJ Bronco. The E4OD, the little bunged up, came with a load of beer cans in the back and a set of tire chains. What a treat. What'd you write in the mirror? Is that the dick? What are you fucking ripping the ditch or what?
Yeah.
Willard, how piled up did I get and how hard was I on the trailer? Look at this. I don't even know how that thing gets that bunged up. Am I stunned? I'm pretty stunned. All right, well the other side's not bad, but these taillight things are a disaster. Like, I don't know why they stick out that far, so we gotta do a quick delete on that and then hit the highway hobbling. Isn't that right, Willard dog? And by then I should be sober enough to drive. That's what she's all about. We're all about legality around here. It's not too often that a cripple gives up his day of dump mowing and latte drinking to go get a sassy old Ferd. I mean, what is drinking and mowing?
I'm mowing the air, man. I'm mowing the air.
Ah, there's no license plate again. You don't need to worry about license plates. A bunch of you minty pricks from the America were always messaging me saying, oh Peg, you know, how do you do all this stuff with no insurance and no registration? It's like, well, first thing you gotta do is not get caught. And then the second thing you gotta do is just, you know those things that start with an F word? Well, give 0 of those and you'll be fine. Isn't that right, with your dog? Well, I don't know what you drunken derelicts think about this giant pile of fiddle, but it looks like a drunk newfie with his parents being brothers and sisters welded this thing up together. I mean, this thing is hanging off there like Dolly Parton's fun bags. Like, it's just hanging way over the side. I'm always getting it hung up on stuff. I mean, this thing ripping off is just nature. That's nature. That's how nature works. I don't know who did the wiring on this, but it's the nicest trailer wiring I've ever seen. So that's gonna be nice. Will, are you coming? He's done? You wanna go for a truck ride? We gotta do welding first, okay? Do you minty pricks think there's like an alternate universe where trailers aren't sacked out piles of shit and they're not rusty as fuck and you don't borrow them out to your friends and they come back looking like a res dog? Do you think, is there an alternate universe like that? Or maybe all the wiring's good? Do those things actually exist? Because as she sits right now, I do not live in that universe. I live in the one where everything is absolutely but don't worry, we got a fix for that. It's called beer. You just drink a bunch of it and you don't need to worry about any of that stuff. Except for loaning it out. If you want really friends, buy yourself one of these, buy yourself one of those things that's orange, and then you'll have all the friends you could ever want, all of it. So these things are hanging out a little bit, but they're not hanging out like some Instagram broad trying to get attention. Those things are brutal. Like they were sticking out past the truck for Fox Creek. So these ones are on there. They're pretty tough. They're pretty welded on there. There seems to be a bunch of beer boxes in here. I don't know where they're coming from, and they keep going empty. They got a hole in them. But what a cripple's gonna do is just make a couple of these, weld them in there. If I go ahead and hit some, it'll hold up better. Because as she sits right meow, I go rallying this thing into a bunch of shit, and it's gonna rip the thing right off. I don't know about you minty pricks, but I'm a big fan of this high heat spray paint for 2 reasons. 1, you don't have to wait for it to cool down before you spray it on, because I think that's what that means. And 2, it was on sale Princess Auto. Mint. Oh yeah, see how it just smokes to cured instantly? That's how you know it's good. Oh, and if you go and look at my old paint cupboard, oh, there we go. If you go and look at the old paint cupboard, it's pretty much Johnny Cash's wardrobe. Flat black, everything. Mint. One of Henry Ford's old quotes, love it. He said, you can have your car any color you want as long as it was black. Reason 7,845 million as to why Henry Ford was way cooler than the fucking Dodge bum buddies or the Frenchman Chevrolet guys. I mean, Chevrolet, that sounds pretty French. Nobody likes French people. Nobody. I saw it off Frenchmen. Are you guys getting all piss pants about me making fun of Frenchmen? I mean, you guys got Justin Trudeau for fuck's sakes. Don't ask us Germans about who we get to claim. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. But you guys get Justin Trudeau. That's fucking disgusting. All right, so the whole idea behind the new taillight housing fucking debacle here is me being hard on shit. So that's 3/16 or 1/4 inch. I don't know. I mean, that's 4 inches, so yeah, that's about that. So yeah, that's 3/16 or 1/4 inch welded onto that. So what I'm hoping is whatever the down the side of this thing will hit this and either glance off, or it'll be tough enough that it'll just, I don't know. This seems a lot tougher than that pile of shit. Hi, Willie dog. Are you the best dog in the whole world? You're a stun dog, though. Alrighty. Well, the old minty old box Ferd Collector 5000's all dialed in. Let's put her to work. All right, well, a better man than myself once said, here's a little tip just for a minute, see how it feels. So a lot of guys, well, a lot of men, because I stand up when I piss, we don't have these fancy pants electric Lego set backup cameras on our old Ferds. What happens is when they back up to whatever the fuck they're trying to get at here, you know, they might miss the ball. They might be drunk, or they might be giving her all the way, or they might just be backing up. All of these things happen. I'm guilty of a few of them, even right now. But that just holds that guy open, what, for being absolutely but let's just say that you're not very good at backing these piles of up. Well, what you got to do is just get the fucking thing kind of close to it. All right, so you're kind of close to it. So what you're going to want to do is just have one of these dirty old pry bars in the back of your dirty old Ferd, believe it or not, Princess Auto, on sale, minty as so just take her, slam her in there like so, and just pry bar it over. You don't have to be that good at backing a trailer up. I mean, you can do it from back here. See? Mint. Just like that, minty as you don't need to worry about borrowing the wheel off your house before you go try to go on a revive and drive. I mean, you might as well borrow the wheel off your house. See, you guys in your houses that don't move, you can't even borrow the wheel off. You guys' problems. You think you're better than me because you got both your nuts and legs? All right, well, the old Ferd Finder 500's back up to spec, almost road legal.
Let's sacrifice one to old Tate Joe, and let's get this tub up to speed.
Let's give her. Willard, you wanna go for a truck ride? You wanna go find a Ford? You wanna go for a truck ride? Let's go find another box. Get in the truck, old boy. Spray paint, dog. See, now it's time to switch from beers to energy drinks. That's how you stay in shape. No? Willard, do you want to go for a run? You're not excited, are you? Are you stunned? Are you stunned, dog? Willard, are you excited? You're not excited, are you? You want to get a new Ford? You want to get a new Ford? There's barely even people. You want to get a Ford? Where's that Ford? Where's the Ford? You want a new Ford? Where's that new Ford? Are you stunned? Are you stunned, dog? Get out of here. He likes running. Where's the dog?
Mama said there's my magic shoes. Mama said they'd take me anywhere.
And you guys thought I was excited about getting a old Ferd. Old Willard back there is having a stroke. Willard dog. Were you running? You get a new Ford? Where's new Ford? I made her there, safe and sound. Minty as look at these deck beaters. Just been fucking jerking off the Tin Man all day long. But so I made her there all right. So the thing about buying minty old iron off the kind of people that own beautiful property like this is the usually they're old timers. They're minty as they're the guys that built this country, and you got to understand that a lot of them, they remember when phone lines first went in or when they first got power. This beauty guy, he actually was telling me about his grandpa's ice shack they had, and no, not 2024 ice, actual ice. They had the original homestead house there, and then they had the homestead house from that, and then they had the house that he built. But I don't like to show up and start slamming cameras around and being that guy. So the minty old timer, he's selling up all his, he's just clearing out the yard. His yard looks a lot like mine, but his iron's a little bit older. And well, lo and behold, this is what we found. So I know absolutely sweet all about these sassy old Ferds. I know nothing about this. All I know is that I bought this minty old Ferd. It's got a flathead V8 in it. It's got wooden running boards, so you know those are f***ing mint. It's got all kinds of goodies. So he was excited to tell me that this thing had all kinds of minty in it, and I was excited to listen to him. He did have a patent there with bungee cords and ratchet straps for steering columns, which was f***ing mint. Look at the old gauges. I f***ing love this old, just beauty. So I think that's a 79 Lincoln or something steering column. That's fine, you don't need that. So I was saying, I got this truck, the whole powertrain, everything complete, and an MP 435 and an MP 205 for about $3.50 American. It was a good deal. But this is her, she's mint. So in the back we have he's got a new steering column for it. I think this is the 3 on the tree, or is that timing? I don't know. Oh, we got a carbontator, an intake manifold, crown and pinion, a Ukrainian metric. Man, we got body panels, running boards, bumpers. It's a whole truck. You just got to apply a little bit of weld. Bias ply tires on her. They're mint. This door doesn't open, but I mean, that's fine. But the cab and the frame and everything looks mint. Like nothing's rotted out. Still pretty mint. The front end's all there. Everything's there. Nothing's been with. The hood, it does not latch, so I got the old ratchet strap on her here. What for? I don't want to have that fly up. But the windshield's in it, all the glass is in it. I'm excited. What a treat. Oh, the exhaust pipes on her. Just look at it. I think those are old bottles, old rotted out bottles that the grass has gone at. Oh, I'm gonna leave that in there. It's gonna add to the sound when she first fires up. Oh, and allegedly 20 years ago, I think it was 20 years ago, he said, it was running when parked. So 20 years ago, I mean, that's just like yesterday for these old Ferds.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
The more I get to looking at this thing, the more I absolutely love it. Like what happened here? What happened here? What happened here? Like what are the stories behind all this thing? So I think he said that this truck's a 49, so 1949. So what the f is the math here? So that's 50, 60, 70, 75 years old, this truck. So my grandpa's 94 years old, so he was 20 years old when this minty old Ferd rolled off the showroom floor. I think that's what the math is. Well, it's got the old steering wheel in here still. The tone package, fuel pump. Oh man, that running board's rock solid. Let's see the clutch. Does the clutch work? The clutch is working. Tranny's all there. So first, I don't even know what the shift pattern to be. All I know is this thing's man. Look at the custom wood interior. Oh, flathead screws. Oh, it's a manumatic. It's got auto and standard. Oh, the old gimp foot's gonna have to use the heel treatment to get that throttle to move. Oh, does the ashtray have any butts in it? Oh, is that a dirty old butt? This thing doesn't have a cigarette lighter in it. If this thing has a cigarette lighter in it and it works, then I just, oh no. I'm not a man like the man who bought this truck new. I can't smoke a shackle pin. What else is in here? Oh, mouse. But yeah, I'm tickled pink. This is the oldest, mintiest Ferd that I own. I'm stoked. Yeah, so 20 years, I guess. Everybody always likes to know how long these things are sitting. I don't actually know. It's allegedly 20 years. So, yeah. But it's all here. It's not rotten at all. Like, it's mint. I can't believe, well, this steel was actually made out of mintiness. It's not garbage like it is now. So, she's not having a hard time not being a rotten piece of shit. Look at that. In 1949, the door is still closed better than any Dodge that's on the road today. Look at that. Some old timer probably yell at me for slamming that. Mint. So mouse turds come out of that exhaust pipe. Is there mouse turds falling out of this one too? Oh, this side's mint still. It's all the way up here. We're golden. True dual exhaust. Oh man, I'm fucking excited. This is gonna be a treat. Listen to that. Bald eagle. So after a lot of fiddle Billy Big trucking, we got this sassy old Ferd back to the yard. Since my buddy Bear in a Bag is a drunk derelict and he sent my cripple down the most mud bogging road there ever was, I have to give this thing some washing. The box is falling off of it. I figured out that the hard way. Yeah, usually I don't wash trucks. I'm not usually into washing. I haven't even washed this sassy old prick yet, but I'm not usually into washing. But this sassy old hooer has a soft spot in my ticker because she's mint. But I hope you guys like the contrast last night of the old minty pile of iron here versus all the Alumaduties and all the rest of that. Because you know, you got the old minty thing, 75 years old, still giving her, and then you have all those aluminum rolls of tinfoil and you know, Lego sets. Do you think they're gonna last 75 years? I don't know. I don't think so. This thing, it'll be around for another 75 years. Don't worry, I'm not gonna f this one up. Well, I'm not gonna f it up for trying. I'll treat her nice. Even when you just give her the old fender pat, you can just feel this thing's made of fucking steel.
Made of wood. It's real sturdy.
What a sweetheart. All right, well, let's get her washed up. All right, let's see how dirty she is under the hood here. That was pretty good. I'll wash the whole fucking mill off. I'll try not to get through too much down her throat hole. It's definitely fucking got the old cobwebs going on. So allegedly, this whole motor hadn't ran in 20 years, is what the guy said. So 20 years, that's a long time. And who even knows? Like, I don't know if he got it running or who the got it running, but it's been a while since she was going. I don't know what's up with the wooden block off plate. So let me reiterate the fact that I know sweet and all about these minty old Ferds.
You're getting ready to show your ignorance.
Yeah, I don't know a sweet thing about these minty old Ferds. So it's gonna take some fiddle to get this thing all dialed in.
Got that right.
I don't know if it's been converted to 12 volt. There's nothing here that would lead me to believe that it has been, but it's still got a generator on it. I'm gonna guess if it still has a generator and not some kind of a Chevy one-wire fire or something like that, that probably tells me that it's still 6 volt.
Well, I ain't first class, but I ain't white trash and wild.
Ooh, shiny. With a little bit of love and a hug, there's gonna be some big change. I'm gonna find me a new way to light up an old flame. Check out the old high miler bias plies. What a treat. Still holding 5 psi. Said, hey pretty lady, won't you give me a sign? I'll give you anything that you mind on mine. Alrighty, meow. Well, it's a few days later, what for being a bunch of drunk derelicts. So what had happened is I pulled the distributor cap off, started fiddling the point, and then remembered that my buddy Twin Sticks Garage was coming to town because he bought a minty old freight shaker at the auction. Oh, and I also gave Willard a racing stripe. Willard, you got a racing stripe now? Are you a fast dog? Yeah, you a fast dog. So I went and hung out with Twin Sticks, gave Willard a minty racing stripe, went and got his truck at the auction, and him and I got drunk and wrenched on a dirty old freight shaker. So we're back now. So I did fiddle the points. I fiddle the battery connection. So what I come to realize is that everything is absolutely, I'm pretty sure, at least 25%, that this thing is positive ground. So what that mean? I barely know anything about this fucking thing. I'm gonna say this about 7,485 crippled times, is that I'm fucking stunned and I don't know how these pieces of work. The only thing familiar to me is the bungee cord tie down for the battery.
Clarita,
Yes.
So basically the whole electrical system on this Minty pile of is bass-ackwards. We figured out what that was back there. Oh, and anybody that actually knows anything about these old Ferd engines, write it down in the old talker below, because I know sweet fiddlers all about these things. I did learn that the plywood block-off plate on the back, which is a really nice piece of plywood, is where the fuel pump goes. The fuel pump goes back there. I'm gonna guess there's some kind of a push rod that goes in there. I had a gander underneath the truck, and there's an electric fuel pump under there that runs to the tank that's behind the cab. But before we get too carried away, I haven't cranked this thing yet. I don't even know if well, it ain't locked up. I don't think it's, yeah, I think I cranked it over. Yeah, I don't know if it's in gear or not. Why does it seem locked up now? Let's fiddle battery connections and see if we can't get it rolling over. All right, so I'm going at this minty old Ferd with all the same basics as the Ford that's not so old. Is good battery connections is number one. You'll yourself 11 times out of 10 with battery connection. We got the battery connections and we got her hooked up bass-ackwards here. This is the first time the fella's gonna hook her up. Let's see. No sparks or all coming off of there. That doesn't look too bad on the engine, but this ground up here looks like shit. Let's just see if it cranks. Is it not? It's not doing nothing. Is the solenoid? There's a good chance the solenoid's always. All right, what for being impatient is. I got the old 12-volt battery pack here. I got it hooked up so it's negative ground. So I got power going to the regular side, right to the starter here. So let's just see if she cranks. So she cranks, which is amazing. I thought it was locked up for some reason. All right, so let's get this another solenoid in there. Some other hot rod piece of shit. Well, I guess that 49 Ferd is going to slowly become a 96 Ferd, because I mean that's just the way she goes, or 95, whatever the f it is. That's what she's gonna slowly transform her to. Hopefully the motor doesn't have to get transformed into a 95 Ferd, and she's a runner. But I mean that very well could happen. Well, if I just removed any doubt that I'm a diehard Ferd guy. What every Ferd guy likes to do is just take an awesome machine that's completely all standard. Everything on this is probably standard. I hope it is for Fox Creek. And I got some metric in here now. So I got a couple 8mm heads on there. Got her self-tappered on there. Let's hook her back up. We're good to go. So only thing hooked up right meow. No, it's nothing because I'm stunned. Oh, I got a 12mm battery connection on here. Going full Ford guy. So yeah, I still gotta do that ground, but let's just see what happens here. Am I stunned?
Yes, 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 yes.
Is the ground that bad, or did I just f the solenoid up because that's not how it works? Does it have to be a special negative ground or positive ground solenoid? I don't understand this. Let's see. Nothing. This should do something.
What the f is this thing?
Uh-oh. Is the ground that bad between the chassis and the engine or the firewall?
You know what the f I'm saying?
Let's see. Is it? Not getting a whole lot of sparky spark here, but that's hooked up to that, so it should be sparky spark off the negative side. I think I'm learning the hard way here.
Oh, f
I want to keep it as stock as possible, but I don't think that's going to be a thing. What for? Well, it's going to cost me $1 million to leave it 6-volt, and like I want to do that. Yeah, because the point condenser. So this whole system here, this is just a basic system. Like I know how a point condenser work. You just put power to the thing or power to the coil. All right, so I'm bastardizing this 1939 Ferd. It was minty as but that's what I'm good at doing. I got her hooked up regular ground, old regular. See if she cranks meow. Did I burn the solenoid out? Is there a good chance I f***ed the solenoid by hooking it up bass-ackwards? I think I f***ed up the word rear.
damn son of a...
I think I f***ed the solenoid. Yeah, I'm definitely stunned. Need another solenoid. All right, well, I was looking through the gigantic pile, and I found this solenoid. It sounds like it's barely perfect. So I've gone full around and find out. I'm too ignorant, I guess, for 6-volt system, so I said go f yourself. So she's running hard on 12-volt. Let's see what happens, meow. I wonder, we got her hooked up like a 94. We're gonna say this bass-ackwards ground shit. I can't figure that stuff out. I'm too stunned. Speaking about stunned, I wonder where Willer Dog is.
Can you identify this sound? That's right, it's a microwave.
I just had this mouth-breathing dog in the microwave for 17 minutes. Now he is stunned to perfection.
All right, let's see what happens, meow. I don't know about you guys, but that starter doesn't sound like it's having a good time. But I don't give a f I don't remember asking it, but 12 volts is always better than 6 volts. Yeah, let's give a spark now and feed a Cosby sauce. So I'm putting the points back together here. For setting points, always just taking an old cigarette package. So you set the motor on the high side, on the cam, or on the cam lobe here. You loosen this guy off a wee bit. Oh, for sakes. And then you're gonna want the feeler gauge to go into here, about 17 thou or some shit. I don't know, as long as on the high side with the cigarette package in there, and then just snug this guy up and snug this guy up. Just having it open enough that when this is on the high side and the lobe, it breaks contact, which fires the spark plug. That's how it works. It's not complicated at all. It's mint. It does bite you awfully hard if you go fiddle with it with the with a couple beer in your system. I don't know what it is about the old beer, but it really makes you more conductive and prone to getting electrocuted. All right, so now I'll turn her over and you'll watch this points gap flopping around like a mother. So every time that opens and closes, this should be sparking a plug. So we're in now. All right, so what I got going on here, I got a 6 volt coil running off 12 volts, because I mean, that's what you do. I think I got the points set all right. So we're gonna go ahead and crank it and see if we got a spark. Oh, yeah, bud. So we got a spark. Let's put the coil out, or the cap on there. All right, so now we got a spark plug here. I don't know what the firing order of this minty old but we got a plug here, we got the cap on it, we got the coil hot. Let's just crank it over. So none of the truck is connected other than the starter and the alter, or the distributor. Let's just see what happens. Here we got spark. So normally the guy would go along and make sure it's all mint and check the firing order and all the rest of that fiddle. But for this guy, spraying Cosby sauce in it to see if it fires off, that's the same as checking to see if the firing order's right. You know what? Before we start this thing, I would like to, I'm gonna unhook the coil there, but I would like to see how much oil's in it. I never did check the oil. Okay, that's not good. The oil is all of it, all the way up on the dipstick. So what that usually means is either A, somebody's stunned and put too much oil in it. That's a possibility. Or B, the water is sitting on the bottom and it's pushing all the oil to the top. Let's get her up in the air, have a gander at her emulsion that's about to happen. All right, have a gander under her skirt here. I don't know what, is that crankcase breather? Is that what that is? I don't know. But we definitely have the running boards that are wood holding up half the truck. Oh yeah, those are structural running boards though, that's fine. Oh, first guess, mint. All right, let's have a gander. How much water's in here, do you guys think? Is it gonna be bad? Let's see. Oh, we got, oh, no, there's definitely some water in there. But we'll drain her out, put some new in there, and call her mint. I don't want to this old mill up. It lives 70, well, who knows how many motor swaps or whatever the happened, but we're gonna give it the benefit of the doubt and say that this minty old Ferd's been on the, well, it's been alive, it's been existing for 75 years. We're gonna give her all the love we can, because mint. So oil's changed, kinda. We got spark, kinda. Oh, the coil's in energizing. So let's crank it over, spray Cosby sauce in it, and see what the happens. A big old dirty backfire. Mint. So these birds, I guess they're knowing the valve's getting hung up, so that could be happening. Let's just crank her over again. And with my head not in there, we'll give her another snort. So at least it's making compression, so that means that the valves aren't stuck. Well, some of the valves aren't stuck. So what I guys gotta do is figure out the firing order, because there's a good chance it might be wrong. So I'm just gonna bump it over now with number 1 out of here, and I'm gonna go until it starts to blow my finger off. So it just sucked. Oh, it's starting to blow my finger off there. Let's just roll it over a little more. I'm gonna start fresh. I'm gonna get rid of all these stupid plug wires, because what I did is obviously they didn't have a plug wire set for a 49 Ferd, but I was looking at those plug wires and they're the same as a 70 Ford, and these are gonna work just mint. All right, go ahead and ask me how stunned I am and I'll tell you all of it.
He's so stupid, he doesn't even know he's stupid.
So after doing a little bit more research on the Googler, number 1 is facing to the moon here. This is number 1. It's supposed to be lined up to the right of this little clippy thing here. So we got it retimed, recalculated, and let's see if she doesn't fire. What do you guys think here? Think I'm stunned? I don't think I'm stunned. I know I'm stunned. And let's crank it. So the backfiring could be firing order, but the backfiring could also be a valve or two hung open, which is probably the case. And it's on firing. Is it bad that my fire suppression is old beer? Come on. You don't want to burn this minty old mill down. At least there's not a whole lot of stuff to light on fire. We'll just let that burn itself out. I don't know what the deal is here. We gotta figure it out. All right, so I pulled all the plugs out of the old hooer. Now we're gonna wheel it over, see what kind of compression she's got. Now, before we do that, with the compression tester, we'll go ahead and use the compression tester that God gave me, my finger. That's not good. That's not good. Oh, that one's not bad. Let's see here. That one's good. That one's good. So we got 1 and 4 have compression. 2 and 3 are completely liberal. Not doing a thing to contribute. We gotta work on 8 now. 8 struggling. 7 struggling. 6. So only 3 cylinders have compression. So that's not good. So we gotta pull her head off for Fox Creek. I hope things are better in there than yeah, I hope things aren't.
Well, wishing one hand the other one, see which one fills up first.
'Cause I want this whole girl to run. It might just be a old valve all hung up, but we can crank and beat those loose and get them to seat again. But if it's something else, we're gonna be. All right, so I got all the bolts out. Cam phasers are out. Let's pop this off. Oh, it's already pretty loose. I think the head gasket might be struggling. Yep, there's a bunch of stuff going on there. Lay that guy down like so. Then we'll have a gander here. Oh yeah, them valves are all pretty rusty looking. But the cylinders look all right. Well, as good as they can, I guess. Give them some oil. And give these guys some oil. Now let's just see if we got valves with valve things. Coming out of her. Well, at least we know that works. All right, well, we got a hose over that line. Let's stick her on crank mode again. So you see these guys are working. Those guys aren't working at all. That one's working. That one's working. So that's not good. I'm not gonna say I got carried away, but I might have gotten a little bit carried away. As you seen in the old video there, she's cranking over. Her heads were off. Valves were having a bad time. And things escalated rather quickly.
What have you done?
Isn't that right with her dog? Oh, he's stunned. So what I did, pulled the mill out of the truck, was dinking around on it, and this is what I found out. Done some serious on it finding out. Princess Auto engine stand. Got a sassy deal on that prick. So this is what's going on. Oh, I was all drunk and dinking around with this thing. As she was spinning around, there was a couple valves doing things, a couple valves not doing things. And let me tell you guys this for all. I've been learning on how flatheads work, and they're mint and they're junk at the same time. Basically, the valves, they all go in through the head, or the block deck, obviously, right? When they go in through the block deck, they're in like a modular unit.
My unit?
And what I mean by modular unit is it's a bunch of all compiled into one of these things. So that being said, you got exhaust, intake, exhaust, intake, exhaust. That's what's going on there. And these are a modular unit held into each hole. You guys are learning with this dirty old cripple. They're held into each hole on this little machine groove here with one of these little clips, right? Now that is, if it's not a rusty old pile of. So if this was a flathead, like a flathead with like a 4-cylinder or 6-cylinder, if the block deck was flat, the condensation doesn't really have a whole lot of time to hang out on top because it would just go right down to the bottom of the mill. On these, being that they're on the angle, look at the rust in there. But these, oh yeah, and the head of that valve was broke off. Yeah, you guys are learning a lot of I found out a couple days ago. So yeah, so being that these are all laid on their side, I think what happens is the water and the condensation sits inside these spots here and completely fiddle them into Rust Town. And yeah, so they're, while I was pulling this piece of apart and having a gander at all this archaic engineering and learning a bunch of myself. I even made a new tool. I had a tire bar here, which basically you push into here, lift up on here, and it compresses the valve, and you can take the keepers off and blah, 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 blah. Well, there's a lot of beating and fiddle around to get these valves apart. A lot. There's as much beating and fiddle going on here as Wheeler Dog is stunned. Ain't that right, Wheeler Dog? Are you stunned? Are you stunned, dog? Made a good stun, dog. I did find a bunch of like a brand new clutch. The flywheel's not all roached out of it, and there's a lot of good going on. But there's a big bite off the sandwich that needs had. I was like, oh yeah, no, it's probably just gonna be stuck valve like every one of these flatheads ever. And I got the fiddle. So I posted a little thing on the Patreon there as to what might be here. So all of these are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Well, except for this guy. This guy's struggling. On the second part of this video, I'm gonna be showing you guys how to get these valves apart, which is pretty badass. You're gonna be learning with the cripple. But the big problem here is one of these things isn't like the other, and that's this guy here. So what has happened here is that, so number 6 cylinder, the problem here is that follower, it's in there, it's just a long ways down in the hole, so that ain't good. And this guy is mushroomed, so this thing is so mushroomed out that it won't slide down in the hole anymore. So that's no bueno. So that's what we found out, and we around and we found that out. But every other hole just has stuck valves, and everything moves as it should. But the problem with that is that this thing being as far down in the hole as it is, that means that the cam's wiped out. So I didn't think that a camshaft could be wiped out by aluminum followers, but I'd be wrong if I didn't think it could. That cam lobe for number 6 hole is completely. So being faced with fiddle as such, what did the guy do? Well, gets on the horn with his buddy Ford Gord. And if you guys don't remember Ford Gord, he's minty as.
Well, Dick, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellent.
I got on the horn with him, and I says, Gordon, what do you got for me? And lo and behold, he has a whole fucking mill ready to go. So he said this thing was a runner when it was pulled, like they all say, and it was good to go. The crank looked good. Could use a little polish, but that's not bad. The camshaft's all there. All the lobes are still on the thing. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna source another camshaft. If any of you minty pricks watching this want to sell my crippled ass a camshaft, I'll let you know what's going on. Send me a she-mail at ziptiesandbossplies@gmail.com, and I'll throw you some cash, and you can throw me a camshaft in the mail if you got one. That'd be minty as. That thing needs a camshaft, but we're going to use the one out of this engine. So hopefully the cam bearings are stock size, or they're the size of that camshaft. If they're not, well then I guess I'm going to have to do some other sourcing for parts, or I'm going to have to get that engine running and put back together. But either or, what's going to happen is between that engine, this engine, I would love to get this engine running because this is Outerburg. But between that engine and this engine, we're going to get that old to fire. I got to looking, and the pistons for this she's bored 60 over. So look at that. And she's just a big bore kit in this old prick. I haven't finished tearing down into it. I hope it's just the camshaft and some followers and some valves, and we'll be able to get thing running, but I guess they're gonna have to wait until next video. Speaking about next video, I was supposed to get this one done a hell of a lot sooner, but let's just say I may or may not have bought a Ferrari.
Don't stop!
So while I was supposed to be working on this thing, I found this Ferrari online. I had to drive down to go get it. I had to drive it back. Things got all up, and Willard is stunned. Well, and long story short, I got the Ferrari home. It's minty as going to be in the next video, but now we're back to this old hooer. So this is definitely going to be a 2 or 3 or maybe 4-part production, because I want to keep this Ford around for a long time. I love this sweet old Ford. It's mint. It's tickling me where my piss comes out. I can't get enough of it. I can't wait to drive the old. It's kind of like keeping a small piece of old America alive, and I just want to bring her back and just drive her down the road with Junior sitting in the passenger seat, and that old V8 just burning gas like she was designed to do. I want to keep her alive. And why? America. But the plan is this is going to be a few-part build series. I don't really do these build series things because I never really done a whole lot of those, but this is going to be one of those things. It's still going to be minty content to sit around and drink beer to. I tell you that. All right, well, I'm almost done now my mouth hole here, but I want to get this video edited and dialed up before the end of tonight. It is July 4th, 4th of July, America's And on the Patreon, I had asked the feller, I said, hey, feller, I'm doing a lot of editing, and at the end of my clips, whenever I post in for a 1776 or a 1202, I usually like to post a little clip of America. Well, I went on there, and my buddy Kevin and I, we come up with a site you can just automatically upload your things to. If you go on the Patreon, you'll be able to upload your things to that link. So I asked the Patreons, I said, hey, go on there and upload your America clips, all your America clips. I love America. Aaron Tippin, Alan Jackson, monster trucks, all that mint. Coors, as long as the day is long, K-Whoppers, everything America. I love it. And my hillbilly ass is blessed enough to have all you minty red, white, and blue loving mother on the old Patreon. So I said, hey, send me your clip. Well, let me tell you guys this for all. It turned out minty. So being that it's 4th of July, we're going to do a little different shout out for the old Patreons at the end of this video. And, well, this is what we're going to come up with.
A little lower. Fire!
Well, the American anthem is not long enough for all the mintiest clips that you minty pricks sent me. According to some mouth-breathing mongoloid out there, rolling the old American anthem twice back to back might be against the rules. I don't remember any Americans following any rules July 4th, 1776. Re-roll America. Alright, so you minty prick sent enough clips in to do like 35 national anthems. And don't worry, I'll be going through every clip and dialing them together for the shout outs at the end of the videos for the Patreon. Appreciate all you minty pricks for sending this in. It's mint, because it's July 4th right now.
See, nobody cares.
Yeah. I get to watch all of you minty pricks do burnouts and light on fire and shoot the American flag going in the background and the anthem. It was all minty as every one of you guys, minty as. But this guy, I had to pick the favorite. This guy was minty as. Willard, it's July 4th. We're drinking out of bottles, buddy. Mint! Well, I hope all you minty pricks enjoyed that Patreon compilation of America that all you minty pricks sent in. We got about 250 clips we got to dial together, but I'm gonna go through them all. I'm gonna edit them all. I'm gonna make a minty and fire them into the end of my videos for the old Patreon shout out. I'm still gonna do the normal shout outs from the videos after this, but it's July 4th. We do something special. Isn't that right, Wheeler Dog? Go over to the link, upload your videos. We're gonna have that link open for a little bit longer. It costs a pile of money a month to have that thing all dialed in, but go over to that link, upload your video clip. I have another post on the Patreon that explains exactly what the feller might want to send in to this Dirty Derelict production. Yeah, so send your clips in. I'd love to put them in the end of the videos. So how it's gonna go is I'm gonna say 1776. I'm gonna fire in a picture. It's not gonna be in order, but it'll just be a picture or a video of America, one of you minty pricks, and it could be an oil burner doing America. It could be a guy from Uzbekistan doing America, doing a burnout and smashing a beer. Maybe some guy from Dirt Lumpistan wheeling a camel. I don't know. America, you know? So go ahead, go over to the link, upload your videos. It's completely free and it's good quality. And yeah, I'd love to put you guys at the end of the old videos here. Your racing stripe's nearly gone. You need a fresh racing stripe? Yes, you do. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this derelict production. I hope you minty pricks enjoyed watching me get this derelict piece at home. And until next time, keep your ass. Wheeler Dog, you're a fast dog.